Jesus be exalted, for holy is your name. Jesus be exalted, for glorious are your deeds. Wonderful, merciful, graceful, faithful and kind you are to me. Your name will be exalted above all, above all. Jesus be exalted, for holy is your name. Jesus be exalted, for glorious are your deeds. Wonderful, merciful, graceful, faithful and kind you are to me. Your name will be exalted above all.
Your name will be exalted above all. Your name will be exalted above all.
Jesus be exalted, for holy is your name. Jesus be exalted, for glorious are your deeds. Wonderful, merciful, graceful, faithful and kind you are to me. Your name will be exalted above all. Jesus be exalted, for holy is your name. Jesus be exalted, for glorious are your deeds. Wonderful, merciful, graceful, faithful and kind you are to me. Your name will be exalted above all.
Your name will be exalted above all.
Magnify the name of the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together, for he is worthy of our praise. His name will be exalted above all.
Your name will be exalted above all.
afternoon and welcome to Dela TV Live. This is Perspectives on Dela TV Live. Perspectives, my story and inspiration. On Perspectives, we put our youth first, where we delve into the life of our guests to pick up a lesson or two to apply to our own lives. Like it is said, when the frog in front falls into a pit, others behind must take caution. I'm the Reverend DNA from, and we are live on Facebook and also on YouTube today. If you are just joining us, I want you to just do this for me. First of all, just share the link of this video with others so that they can also benefit from the program, pick up a lesson from the life or the life story through the life lenses of our guests for the day, and also apply it to their lives. So just share the link, number one. Just also like our page. And finally, I want you to send any questions at all or any comments that you know would enrich our program, and just also share with us in the comment box, and we'll be sure that we'll read your comments to the rest of the world. We'll be back after this short break, after which I'll introduce our guest for today, then we delve into our riveting conversation for today. We'll be right back after this break.
I'm modeling Jeffrey Bafali Joyland,
Tacy Presla,
Laurentia Adaji, Pelikem Alberta, the senior prefect of EPC Malco Girls, and I endorse Perspectives.
I endorse Perspectives.
It is a very inspirational and educational program.
I'm really touched.
I've been touched by every single part of the story.
I pray you all watch it and it will help you.
You will never regret your time spent with us.
Keep watching and stay tuned to Dela TV.
Keep watching Dela TV.
Keep watching Perspective
My story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
To partner, advert placement, or for enquiry, please call or WhatsApp 0249 820 162. Perspectives, my story and inspiration.
My name is Mrs. Marianne Jemima Akua Adri, the General Manager EPC Ghana and Director of Education. Keep watching Perspectives, my story and inspiration on Dela TV. God richly bless you.
Keep watching Perspective
My story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Join us to learn from the life lenses of our seasoned guests with the host, Reverend DNA Afram. Perspectives, coming to you every fortnight, Sundays at 4 p.m. For further enquiries, call 0249 820 162. Perspectives, my story and inspiration.
We thank you. We bless.
Welcome you again to Perspectives on Dela TV, right here on Facebook and also on YouTube. I am the host, the Reverend DNA Afram. I also have in the house my co-host, Derek Senak Besemete, and Josephine Boto. She's also here with us today. Welcome you again to Perspectives, my story and inspiration. We want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, especially to Madam Francisca Salu in the UK, to the very Reverend Francis Amel. Thank you very much for your constant support to Dela TV and also to Perspectives specifically. We want to say a very big thank you to Kekeli Hotel, where we are coming to you from. We are at the four walls, within the four walls of the Kekeli Hotel, right here in Ho. Like I always say, Kekeli Hotel is home away from home. Anytime you happen to come around Ho, please try to spend a day or a night or two at the Kekeli Hotel, and you will never regret your time spent with us. I want to also say a very big thank you to my crew members who are all here in the house. I have most of them here today. To Ernest, I say a very big thank you. To Aaron, to Nathan, to Alex, Selassie, Prosper, and Mauli. Thank you very much for putting this beautiful piece and this beautiful show together. Our in-house organist, you have heard from him already. Sedem Gbagbo is on the keyboard for today. As always, thank you very much, Sedem, for being a part of the success story of Dela TV. This still is Perspectives. I am the Reverend DNA Afram. Our guest for today, like Paul says, he says, I have become all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. That's what he said. She is so many things to so many people. That is who we are talking to today. She was the first female presbyter executive of the General Assembly of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana. Most people call it ADAJAWA, then she'll respond. And today I'll pose that to her and ask her where that is coming from. So our guest for today is the Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA Aku ADAJAWA. She's our guest for today. Welcome to the studios of Dela TV, Mama.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor having you in the studios today to have this conversation with you. I introduced it already. I said a lot of people call it Awawa, then you respond. How do you respond?
I say Awawa.
Awawa. Where is that coming from?
Before that, let me say good afternoon to all people who are either watching or listening to us. I also welcome you to this show. I have been booked for this several times ago, and I think I was rejecting it. I didn't want to come. For only God knows why.
Okay.
For this one, that guy, how is he called?
Mauli.
Mauli had pestered me, pestered me to a certain level that I have to agree to come.
Yes.
So, everybody listening, how are you?
We are all very fine. Thank you very much.
We're from Awawa.
Yes.
Okay, Hopochi, you know, has been vibrant in fundraising.
Okay.
Especially when we were building the chapel and everything around it. And so it came to a time when we decided to do all things by birthdays.
Okay.
So we picked the choices. Whoever came first performed. And then everything had to be unique.
Okay.
But we decided that we were going to learn a song, sing, to invite people to come and join in the puppetry.
Okay.
So we learned that song, and then we sang. And a refrain was, we are going to give wa, wa, wa. Nyananu, wa, wa, wa. Then the group will say awawa, awa.
Okay.
So we use that to raise a lot of funds towards the building of Opoji Church.
Oh. So that's where the name came from.
Yeah.
How many years ago?
And also maybe because anytime we talk about fundraising in the Dela Cathedral, and perhaps almost everywhere, it's me, Lydia, who will be made to fundraise. And well, somebody, maybe it's a gift, I don't know. So somehow, yes, I was doing that. Sometimes I was even invited to places outside the whole church. Yes, so Awawa came.
So it has nothing to do with your name, ADAJAWA. Because I thought it was because of the wa at the end of your name.
No, it's for Wednesday bonds.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday bonds.
Okay.
So when you heard anybody Awawa, then you think the person is a Wednesday bond.
All
but
right.
Unfortunately, a lot of people call me Awawa.
All right.
I don't know whether they know, like you. I don't know whether you know it's because of the Wednesday bond.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Wednesday bonds will be. We were urging them to come and give wa, wa, wa.
Okay.
So the song went, and then the refrain came, awa, awa.
All right. All right. Once you brought the part of the fundraising, it's one of the questions I wanted to put to you. Do you have a degree in fundraising or something? Because you seem to be the one who events of the church to raise the funds. Do you have any certificates, if you like, in fundraising so that I could invite you?
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. Nobody goes to school for fundraising. It comes naturally.
Okay.
And then if you are willing, you should be willing to sacrifice. Because by all means, you will have to dip your hands into your pockets also yourself. And then in fact, it's quite sometimes I think it's some difficult job because you have to think about the strategies to use to get people to donate. People have, but they'll be seated.
Yes.
And they will not move at all.
Yes.
And it's embarrassing.
Yes, that's
so
true.
what do we do? That is it. When you think that way, and you're also thinking about the church, what should we do to raise the image of the church? You will by all means find a way out.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that, Mama. In fact, this is not the first time we are having you on Dela TV. I remember, if I remember correctly, the last ended or the last two ended General Assemblies, you were in our studios and I had an interview with you. There are several other occasions I spoke to you. I think even last year concerning the 175th anniversary, I spoke to you about it. But we have you in the studios today. We all know the person, Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA Aku ADAJAWA, Awawa herself. But we don't know, we know very little, if you like. Some of us, and those are our viewers who are at home today, after church, relaxing and listening to our conversation, they know very little about you. So you are here today so that we'll get into your life. Who is she? Where does she come from? How did she even grow up? Which schools did she attend? I even asked if you have a certificate. So maybe when we get to the education, you would want to tell us if you did any side certificates in fundraising and the rest. That is why you are in the studios today, Mama. So let me begin from here. Where do you come from and who are your parents?
I am from Ho Dome.
Okay.
Ho here, Dome. My parents, the late Emmanuel Kojo Eleblu, normally called, popularly called Kojovi.
Okay.
Kojovi, for Kojovi and all that. And then my mother was Marwin Afua Kumbiaja.
Okay.
So both parents, diseased, come from Ho Dome.
Okay.
And so
you're 100% Ho?
Ho Dome.
Honian.
Ho Dome, 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But at a point, my parents told me they were working in Accra.
Okay.
And so my mother was in Accra with my father. My mother said my father was the Beshia in the vicinity, or many places in Accra. And so anytime anybody gave birth, he was invited to perform the 8th day ceremonies everywhere.
Okay.
And
the 8th day ceremony?
Yes.
Okay. It's not outdooring.
Well, could be, I don't know how they called it, but 8th day or outdooring, whatever. I don't know. Today, what do we do? I think we combine the two. Or
yes, in the church we combine the two, but you still go to places where you hear people say before they come to the outdooring.
Yes, so
I guess that's what we are talking about. All right.
And so that was what my father was known for. And apart from that, he was mediating like a chief all over.
Okay.
Then anytime my mother became pregnant and had to give birth, my father would ask her to go home and have your baby. And she would come and she was telling me it wasn't that pleasant. And then at a point when she bore me in the tummy, there was a friend who was close to her, and she was insisting that this one, you are not going to give birth. You would also give birth here in Accra. So that we invite all other people to be here. What your husband was doing to other people will be done to you.
Witness.
But my father was so scared of having me over there. So he was preparing that my mother should go to Ho and have a baby. But the lady was strong. And my mother also succumbed to the influence of that woman.
So you had to come to Ho?
So no. So I was giving birth in Accra.
Oh, okay.
At Abraka.
All right.
Yes. And then very early morning. And my father was so, but then I had been born already before he even heard it, but he was scared. But everything was over. And according to the story, according to my mother, the house was crowded. And so there were petty litigations here. Why do you put this one here? Why do you put that one here? And so there were challenges. And some of the women were telling her that you are not going to give birth. You vomit the baby. You vomit the baby. You will not give birth. That was it. So when that morning the news came that I had been born, the landlady in the house, a very strong young woman, went and mashed kenke in a big calabash, and then went round the whole house, spreading it.
Wow.
Spreading and said, nobody can touch this girl. Nobody can touch the mother. Nobody. You dare not. And she gave me the sister's name, Akwa Anyema. So my Anyema. So my Ghana name is Anyema. Yes.
Oh, okay. And I never knew you had a Ghana name.
Oh, I had a Ghana name.
Okay.
But surprisingly, anytime I'm writing something official, I just write I'm from Ho. I was born in Ho.
All right. But let me ask you, what do you think? Okay, now you are old and maybe you didn't know when your mother told you this, or perhaps you didn't ask. But what do you think was the reason behind your dad asking your mom each and every time to come to the Volta region to give birth or to be delivered of her babies?
I think it was financial.
Oh, okay.
Yes, nothing more.
All right. So not that you were scared of.
He was scared of finances.
Oh,
carrying...
not the evil spirits and the witches.
No.
Okay.
Home is home. The mother was around. The aunties were there, so they will be able to help. But in Accra, who would take care?
Yeah.
There were two.
All right.
With the two younger brothers or sisters. So in this case, who would take care of the mother, the woman who has just given birth? But that lady provided all the answers.
All right. That's
that
great.
is what happened.
Talking about finances, what was he doing and why was he so scared about money? What was your dad doing at the time?
He was in working with the PWD as how do they call them? I've forgotten.
Okay.
I'll come back to that.
All right.
And my mother was a petty trader.
All right.
Yes. So, and then if she was petty trading, moving round and coming home with the money and content to come and cook, if she gave the birth over there, who would take care of that?
That's a question. All right.
Yeah.
So how many are you? I mean, siblings. How many siblings do you? How many children?
Oh, it's unfortunate. Rather very unfortunate. We were 10.
Okay.
Yes, and I am the sixth born.
Okay.
So we were 10. So period. I don't want to cry. Several of them died.
All right.
So it's
she
painful.
doesn't want to cry. So end that one. Then we'll end that aspect of it.
Yes.
So did you grow up in Accra or you had to come back to home?
We came back. We came back to Ho, and then my father was transferred to Pando.
Okay.
And then it was at Pando, or Hokwe rather. We went to Hokwe first. And it was there that I even started kindergarten. I went to kindergarten in Hokwe.
So you started schooling.
I started schooling there, yeah. But I remember very well that we were there. We were in Hokwe. My mother was doing her business. This one, it was kenke selling and the cooking and selling kenke. And then my father was in Hokwe eventually. He was transferred to Pando. But I remember he was coming home every weekend. Initially, when no.
Okay.
He was coming from Pando to Hokwe. When we were together in Hokwe, we were so happy. Nice family. I had two younger brothers, Ben and Dan, after me, and we were just enjoying ourselves. And then that was where I also started kindergarten. Today you call it Abajokpo.
Yes.
That time it was Abajokpo.
All right. Now it's kindergarten.
It's kindergarten in the house of Reverend Kambusu.
Okay.
The late Kambusu.
Wow.
Yes.
Reverend.
Yes.
Okay.
In the house. And I remember we're going to school there, and then I know there's something about education, so let me chip this one in.
Okay.
At the end of the term, he asked everybody to bring the slate. We were using slate and chalk. So he wrote figures on the slate and said, we should not wrap them, we should keep them and send them to our homes. So I looked on mine and it was 1.
Okay.
While others had 20 and 17, 15. And I was weeping and the others were teasing me. Oh, ele blue the car ko, ele blue ya one ko, on the single one. So I was weeping a lot. Why should I have 1?
Okay.
Not 2, not 3. And then the head came and said, no. And we born when you there, we hogba. And we hogba. It took him a time to cool me down.
Okay.
And then I went home and my mother said the same thing. My father came at the weekend and said the same thing. So that was the beginning. I was so happy then. And that things happened.
I mean, please pardon my ignorance. I don't know of Reverend Gambusu, but I know of Togbe Gambusu. Is it Togbe Gambusu? Reverend Gambusu, I don't know him.
Reverend Gambusu. So I was talking about, I was born in 1950.
Okay.
1950.
Okay, 1950. Morning, where were you?
26 July.
Okay.
26 July 1950.
All right.
And I was in Abojokpo around 3 to 4 years.
All right.
So when you go to EP Church in Hokwe now, you will see his grave.
Oh, okay.
The very first one. Initially, I heard he wasn't a member of the EP Church. Later on, I heard so. But I saw his grave engraved. It was engraved in it that Togbe Gambusu, also for Reverend
Gambusu. Is it related to the late Togbe Gambusu?
I am sure. Because the house in which we stayed in the house. And we had people coming up. So my classmates, I grew up with them and I got to know them later. So when I went to the St. Teresa Training College, I think there was a single day that I had to go to town and then I went to that house to meet all of them. And then I don't know how we crisscrossed. So he should be related to
Okay. All right. If you are just joining us, this still is Perspectives on Dela TV We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube this afternoon, and we are having a conversation today with the first female presbyter executive of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, the presbyter Mrs. Lydia Aku ADAJAWA. She's our guest for today. We've just started the conversation, getting into her life. We've spoken about her birth. We are getting on to education. But before we take our first break, let me just pose this last question. You were 10 in number. How was it growing up in the house? How easy was it growing up?
Oh, you said something. It's not easy. In the first place, we were not all together at the time. We were quite scattered with some people were staying with others. For example, when I said we were in Hohwe, it was me and my 2 younger brothers then, so we're together. Okay. And at that one, I didn't even know how we were sleeping. Oh, okay. But as I grew, I saw that accommodation was a problem. All right. Yes. Even in Ho, when we came back to Ho, there was accommodation was a problem. Okay. And I remember that there wasn't much. We didn't have many rooms. So at a point, it was so sad to say that one of my elder brothers had to sleep in the classroom. Wow. Yes. Wow. Yes. And apart from that, getting people to together. When at a point I stayed with my aunt, and we had a hall and a chamber. I don't know whether we should refer to it the same way. Hall and a chamber. All of us, her own children, 3 and me myself, we were about 4 or 5, and then she and the husband, all of us were in the bedroom. Wow. Yes. And at the point, I remember they were using something we call partition. Yes, yes. Partition. And we slept together, and we were just okay. Nobody, we didn't feel anything. We didn't feel bad. A lot of people didn't have, and like today when we have put up buildings, and we have shared rooms to our children so that each one will be independent. No. We're locked together, and we still enjoyed it because in the evenings, after playing so much, there are several games we were playing. We played so much, we became very dirty, and there was water sometimes, but we didn't even bath. Okay, you just go and sleep like that. Just go, and then we slept all through. Okay. And we woke up the following morning and tried to see how dirty you were. I had to go to my father in the morning because he was staying in a different house. Okay. And then the challenge was that, will you go with those dirty feet? She will also Meletito. Yeah, what Meletito? Bulu Agbo.
What does it Bulu Agbo? What's that?
The Ghana speaking people will tell her. I told you they were. I tell you they were in Accra, so they learned. Those were the things you could easily say. They were not using much in AP. Bulu Agbo. Whatever you did, Bulu Agbo.
I understand it means big fool.
Yes, I knew she was insulting her. And I could speak the Ghana those early days. But later on.
So tell me. I mean, let's speak to our listeners and our viewers now. You had to go through all these things when you were young, but it didn't stop you from getting to where God wants you to get to. What advice do you have for somebody finding himself or herself in a similar situation? What advice do you have for such people?
It's not easy. Maybe I can go back a little bit. Remember for me to talk about broken home. All right. Yes. All right. Please put it down. There was a challenge in the marriage. So there was a broken home. And I became a victim. Not I alone. We became victims of broken home. Okay. Yes. And so I stayed with some people, different people at different times. And I remember very well that from Hopway, we moved to Pando. Okay. And that was where the challenge started from. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My father was also always introduce somebody to my mother. And he would say, which woman would today? Which woman will listen to this? But that was it.
So was that in reference to somebody else, but not your mother?
That's it. Okay. Okay. And I was so I didn't get the import of it because I was young. All right. Yeah. All right. But
to which if you see the other woman, she's, if you like, heavily loaded, backside, front side, whichever, frontwards, I don't know, whichever. So he was telling this to the wife about another woman. I guess that's it.
I was tiny, but I haven't forgotten.
All right.
Because it was painful. And when we moved to Pando, this woman coming in brought a lot of problems. Okay. So my mother fell somewhere along the line. We fell down and broke the arm. Had a discoloration. And so she had to be sent to her. Okay. And then we were 2. And then I was in school. I still went to Pando EP Primary. Okay. But you see, my father before this was very particular about us. Okay. So me being the 6th child, but the only girl, was kind of, I wasn't pampered though. No. I wasn't pampered, but they took particular interest in me.
You, all right.
Yeah. So he was teaching me. In school, he was teaching me. So by the time I got to P3, I got to P2. And I had gone through all the readings and the tests and everything. Okay, so they didn't see the need for me to be in P2. So I was jumped to P3. Okay. But in P3, my father was still teaching me, but there was a word that was my Waterloo. The
Waterloo.
Word, yes.
All right.
That word was WITH. How do you call it?
WITH. With.
Ha! It was a Waterloo.
Okay.
I was made to read. He asked me to read. And anytime I was reading, I got to this word, WITH. I was stopped, panicking. I said, you have a heavy knock. With Oyoni. And then I'll thank him. And then pick it and go ahead. Okay. The following day, I was reading something. So I had to learn, learn, and overlearn to get that word into my dictionary. Wow. So I was jumped to P3. And in P3, I had a challenge with the mathematics because the mathematics teacher, although I was young, I knew that she was not teaching us well.
Although you were young, you knew that she was not teaching you well.
Yes. Anytime we had,
how did you come to that conclusion?
We had 2 sessions.
Okay.
One where the lady had to teach. Okay. And then we had another one where the exercises were in the books. Okay. When we took the books, I was able to work properly. Okay. But anytime she had to teach before setting assignments, I didn't get anything. So I was wondering why it was so, and that was my conclusion that she wasn't a good teacher as far as mathematics was concerned. And that was where my woes started with mathematics.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But later on, when I was in the middle school and I was getting 24 and 26%, I asked myself, what is wrong with you, Lydia? Okay. You can speak English. You can read it. You can understand. The mathematics is in words. Yeah. Which you have to read. What's your problem? Yeah. Come on. Okay. So I challenged myself. All right. All right. And then from there, I moved on.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. But we were still on the lesson. What you would tell people who are in a similar situation before we go on with the break?
Let me tell you that it is never easy.
Okay.
You can go through all these things, even with your parents. And you can go through it while we are saying with others. It is not an easy thing at all. So what you have to do is to remain stable, strong within yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to make it. I will later on have to move. I will tell you. I'm told myself I'm going to make it no matter the situation. That nothing was going to deter me from getting to what I want to be.
All right.
Yes. So it's a determination because there were times when if you don't take it, you give up.
That is it.
You give up. But at certain points also, I remember I was asking certain questions. There were times I would sleep and had a dream. In my dreams, people will be chasing me. And then I will say, God, let me fly.
No, fly?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I'll be up.
Okay.
And then I'll see the person chasing me also coming up. Then I say, God, let me go higher. And then I'll go and the person will not be able to get me at all. That was in the dream. Okay. But you see, that's why I'm saying that the broken home sometimes can be cumbersome. Yes. If I were with my parents, and then this thing happened, and I told them, maybe that was a gift, it was the kind of a gift. Yeah. It wouldn't have slipped through my hands. Yeah.
All right.
So God, I don't know how, but I knew because my parents were also very strong AP church members, and singing was part of their job, praying and that was it. But men.
Men. On that men note, we'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. I'm still the Reverend DNA Afram, and this still is Perspectives, my story and inspiration. We'll be right back.
I'm modeling Jeffe Fafali Joyland.
Tesi Presla.
Laurentia Adaji Pelikema Alberta, the senior prefect of EPC Malco Girls, and I endorse Perspectives.
I endorse Perspectives.
It is a very inspirational and educational program.
I'm really touched.
I've been touched by every single part of the story.
I pray you all watch it and it will help you.
You will never regret your time spent with us.
Keep watching and stay tuned to Dela TV.
Keep watching Dela TV.
Keep watching Perspective,
my story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
To partner, advert placement, or for enquiry, please call or WhatsApp 0249 820 162. Perspectives, my story and inspiration.
My name is Mrs. Marianne Dela, the General Manager EP Schools Ghana and Director of Education. Keep watching Perspectives, my story and inspiration on Dela TV. God richly bless you.
Keep watching Perspective,
my story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Join us to learn from the life lenses of our seasoned guests with the host, Reverend DNA Afram. Perspectives, coming to you every fortnight, Sundays at 4 p.m. For further enquiries, call 0249 820 162. Perspectives, my story and inspiration.
Welcome back to Perspectives on Dela TV. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you are just joining us, please, I want you to do this for me. Just like our page, share the link with others so that they could also benefit from this exciting and educating interview for today that we are having with the Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA on Perspectives today. If you have any comments, if you have any questions at all for our guests for today, just put it also in the comment box and you'll be sure that will read this to the rest of the world, and it will also, if it's a question, it will be answered by our guest for today. We started a conversation with Beth and early years as a child growing up and staying and living with the parents. She said a lot of wonderful things, and we ended on the men note. We'll continue from there. You mentioned, Mama, welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
You mentioned earlier that you were jumped from class 2 to class
from class 1.
Class 1 to class 3.
Yes.
So you did not attend, if you like,
class 2.
No. People have always had problems with that, where they say, I hear parents who say, I will never allow my child to be jumped from one class without going through one to the other class. What do you think? Do you think you lost anything at all because you jumped from attending one?
Yes, it nearly happened.
Okay.
But my father was around to support me.
Okay.
This way, I'm telling you, with started in P3.
All right.
And maybe if I had gone to P2, yes, would have continued. But I had a problem with that. So, but he was there and he was teaching me. In fact, he was teaching me every evening. We had time to study assignments. Whether I had assignments or not, we had study time. That one I will not lie. He did that for me. Whether he was a man or a female, he did that so much. Yeah. So that was what made me to be able to go through, sail through. And again, when we had Children's Day, Sunday, the Vinkakanui, I was always giving sessions to recite. And then he or my mother would teach me. And I was excelling in those areas too. But let's if you have nothing more, let's go to from Pando, I came to Ho, and I went to the Hokoji Middle School here.
Yes, yes, Mama, we'll come to that. But okay. I want us to, because parents and all of us listening as viewers to be very clear in our minds. Would you advise, because I hear some parents who say, oh, my child is growing, they should jump the child. Would you advise?
And so if I am saying yes to it, then it means that parents must be up and doing.
Okay.
Don't just push the child and say he has been jumped and then you sit back. No, it needs conscious effort. A lot of work has to be put in.
Okay.
But I don't know whether parents are doing that. I don't know. But in my case, there was a lot. My father put in a lot. Okay. And I was ready to learn. You see, sometimes withdrawing punishment and whatnot, I'm not saying that it should be harsh, but in the way it helped. Because anytime I missed the WITH, my ears were raised, and then I was, Papa made a kukula. And there were many other things. So anytime I did well, he praised me. And I went with that to the school, and I carried on. So if he hadn't been around, if my mother were not around to read the epistles to me and other things. So conscious efforts must be made by parents. As soon as your child is jumped, it's a challenge. We must know. There are some people who may go over, fine, they can get to the next one, they can continue, fine. There are people like that too. But normally we have to supervise. There's a need to supervise and support.
So in like manner also, you have said that you benefited a lot from the tuition, if you like, of your dad and your mom with your homeworks, assignments, and the rest. These days, when normally they go nowhere cool. So parents are running around and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Before I come back, it's late and all that. How should parents relate to their kids when it comes to home tuition?
I want to ask the question. Why are you running around?
For the kids.
For what?
Family.
For what?
For their future.
For their future.
Yes.
But you are laying a very wrong foundation.
Okay.
So if you don't take care, yes, you find them food, clothing, and everything, but they will do nothing. They will come up with nothing. They will even be rogues. You can call them any name. So the foundation has to be strong. Let the foundation be fine time. You know, we go and we come very late. And some men, we don't see them. Some children don't see their fathers all through at all. And they are not always working. No, people are not always working. There are certain places. When I was in Water Hall, Legon, I was calling a man, my roommate,
okay.
my next door neighbor, a married man.
Okay.
Water Hall for women, females. But there was, it's okay. Anytime I saw him, I said, hey, Water Hall mate. And he would be embarrassed.
Okay.
What was he doing there?
He was with another lady.
What?
Okay.
We must make time.
All right.
Conscious time. We have tried to do it consciously. Don't, you are running around because of the child. We are running around because of the child.
All right.
Yes. So if it is the child, because of the child, then the child must benefit, must be number one from what you are going to get. Otherwise, you go round, and you come back and get to zero. Nothing done.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that beautiful advice to parents. We should all make time for our kids, of course. We should all make time for our kids. We should all make time for our kids. Home tuition, helping their assignments and all others. We should. make time for them. All right, so let's continue with the education. So you started schooling officially at Hohwe. You came to Mando. Then you moved to Ho. Okay, so what level were you when you came to Ho?
I was the upper primary school.
Okay.
Upper primary, and I went to LARC. And there's a school nearer the prisons.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a girls' school. Formerly it was RCLA.
All right.
Now I don't know how they call it. I went there, but I had to. Everybody insisted, my brothers insisted that I should go to Hopoji Middle School because there was no school like that. This school, it was like a secondary school, and Mauli was like a university.
Wow, Volta University.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I came to Hopoji to start middle school, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, and all along, I don't know where to start from.
There's a lot to see.
There were challenges with the upbringing,
right.
because I told you about broken home.
Yes.
So there were challenges where there was food shortage and everything shortage in where we were staying. My three brothers, 2 brothers, myself, and the other children. So I had to ask permission from my class teachers.
Okay.
That they should allow me to go to the farm on Wednesday mornings.
Wow, every Wednesday morning before coming to school?
Yes. And so I would dash to the farm. It was far away, behind barracks.
That's very far away.
Far from wherever I was. So, and then I would uproot cassava, get some firewood. But lifting it on my head was the problem. So sometimes I have to tack some of the cassava into the trees. Into trees.
Oh, okay.
So you help yourself on it, then you add the rest.
All right.
Gradually. Then you dash, run. Because by 5 a.m. you should be on your way. And because I promised that I'll be in school by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So get back by 9 o'clock, had a quick bath, get back to school, and then salute.
Right.
I'm back. Thank you very much. That was it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I don't know whether people today will do that, but that was it.
All right.
And then Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, I had passed the common entrance.
Before we come to the passing of the common entrance, I have 2 more before we get there.
Okay.
So 1, growing up was difficult when it comes to finances, when it comes to money and all that. Your mom was a petty trader. Did you at home, not you alone, with your siblings, help your mother in any way?
By the time we came back to home, she couldn't do the petty selling anymore.
Okay.
Petty trading.
All right.
So she was into farming, petty farming.
All right.
And petty farming. Actually, and things weren't that smooth. Yes. So we didn't stay with her. I told you that the broken home. So my father stayed somewhere, my mother stayed somewhere, and then we also stayed somewhere.
So you had to, at a point in time, live with your auntie. If I heard that right.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so you didn't get the opportunity to hawk around, maybe Agbeli Kakolo, you know.
For the hawking, I did. I was a kafa seller.
Wow.
Kafato.
Oh, okay. So yes, I'm really after the kafato or anything to that you. So people really called you kafato.
Yeah, cool.
when did it cease? Because I know these things can linger on in life, where you would even grow up and you are having grandchildren, people will still see you and call you kafato.
Maybe my classmates, people around that are either dying or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But then I was everybody referred to me as
kafato
because I was talking.
Okay.
And then you know, when you sell and you keep quiet, nobody will know. So I'll say Kafatoina, and the horrible responses from the young ones say, my brother, it's not easy. If you don't take it, you say it again.
Okay.
But I woke up at 9 in the morning, cooked, prepared the kafa. The evening, the previous evening, you have to prepare the ingredients. Oily. And then sometimes we didn't have the leaves.
Okay.
From people coming from Pengwe and Takala. So you have to go into the bush,
yourself,
the forest. Mr. Nunez area.
Okay.
Where we have the Catholic Church to and all those places. Yes, there was the Ave.
Oh, okay.
Forest area.
Wow.
So you have to go there and then pick them yourself, and it was another hectic one.
Wow.
Somehow you come back, make it, and then get ready to go and sell. The challenge here, one challenge here also was that the clothes I was using, what to wear, to go and sell the kaffa was an issue.
Okay.
I didn't have dresses.
Okay.
No. So I would use my PE blouse. And we were forced to have PE pants. So I would use the blouse. And how did I get the blouse? I used the blade. I made the blouse myself.
Okay. Wow.
So it was good we learned the needlework.
Okay.
So I would cut the neck, the arm, the neck, hem, and then sew the seam and hem. That was enough.
Wow.
But I needed a cloth to tie around me.
Yes.
What I was using was called akponi.
Akponi? Meaning? Is it
Very
another
thick.
gun?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's very thick.
Okay.
And so if I use that, it will quickly come off.
Okay. Okay.
And if you don't take care, hell.
All right. All right.
So I needed the lighter ones, this type. How? So I would wait for my aunt to move, and then I quickly picked hers. But I had to come back and replace it before she came back.
Okay. Wow.
And then I would go and sell kaffa.
So who taught you the kaffa?
My aunt.
Okay, so she was into kaffa. The kaffa business, so she taught you?
Actually, not fully.
All right.
But it was good we were with her, and then we learned it and we're using. So even now, I can make one for you, and I can make some kaffa for you.
Okay.
Yes. So
all right.
We did that, and then I would go around, sell, and then get back in the evening around 5. Then come and cook supper with others. But you see, this is where some men took advantage of those little girls.
Yes.
I was a tiny little girl. In fact, I was finger one, as if I never ate anything. And unfortunately, I don't know what some men thought. Certain things happened, and ladies, fight, oh! Fight. No matter how tiny you are, fight! And fight them.
Mama, I want to hear what happened and how you fought. What happened? How did you fight so that the little ones, the ladies will learn how to fight?
Okay. I was defensive.
Okay.
Very much. This guy said he wanted to buy the kaffa. So me, I thought it was true. I sent my wares, and he helped me, and then picked them and said I should collect the money. When I was collecting the money, he just held me this way.
All right. So you have on your screen a picture of Mama LYDIA ADAJAWA when she was.
But then I had grown.
You had grown,
I was bigger here.
So this one you are no more. You are like figure 8. You are not figure 1 here. You are figure 8 there.
You are big here. Oh.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I had started teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So
okay.
I put on a lot of flesh.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yes, let's continue with the man. So he held your hand.
He held me, was pulling me into the room.
Wow.
And I quickly thought of what to do. What should I destroy? What should I make? There must be some noise.
Yes.
Then I found out, oh, this was a table with plates and hot nuts on it. So instead of screaming, I just held
the leg of the
table. Pull it, and everything went tumbling.
Wow.
And then he saw that I was causing commotion. Meanwhile, his things had also broken. I don't even know whether the room was for him.
Okay.
So he just left me, and then I went away.
Wow.
But I had gone to similar things several times. But I had to fight. Then let me jump a little bit. When I went to Legon, but I had got 2 children by then. I was going to the hospital, Trafalgar. And then I was somewhere there. Then I saw a man who said, "Hey, it looks I know you. I think I know you somewhere." And I said, "Yes, you know me, and I know you too." So where did we meet? I said, "Housing." So how did I said you were the one you were about to rape me?
Was he embarrassed?
He quickly jumped into a waiting vehicle
and left.
He had gone there to work with people, so he just said, "Come again."
All right.
And that was
all. Wow.
So you see, if I hadn't developed those kinds of, look at what he would have done to me.
Yes.
A tiny little girl. I mean, figure 1.
All right.
I didn't know which part of me was attacked.
So, Mama, are you putting on record that you said these things had happened to you severally? You had suffered some of these things. Are you putting it on record that none of them succeeded?
How can they succeed when I was always in gloves, waiting.
Waiting to fight.
Waiting to fight.
Thank God.
And it wasn't only in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I think I wrote a book.
Okay.
Not for me, but it was on Christian Home Week. How to ward off these kinds of attacks.
All right.
I didn't know I'll talk about it. I would have brought it to show. I don't know whether it's even around. But there are ways of helping the young ladies to be able to ward off these kinds of attacks.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so my second question before we continue with the education. You said when you were in the kindergarten, they gave you a slate where you had 1 on it. You didn't understand. You were told that you were first. Did you maintain this position throughout your education?
No.
So,
no.
Where were you playing in class? Were you number 34, number 54, or you were 1, 2, 3?
That's why I say broken home is sad.
Yes.
Because I dropped terribly.
Okay.
And I wasn't performing well. At the point in the primary school, upper primary, I went to school hungry. Yes.
Yeah.
I went to school hungry. I could remember very well.
Okay.
I went to school hungry. So, and there were times I feel like sharing. There were times when colleagues, schoolmates, classmates would buy food during the break time, and me, I'll be asking for food. There was, you will hear some of them, and we won't be tied to if you don't give me, because I could play and pay very well.
Okay.
And so if you give me, then I'll be in your team, and I'll lead your team, and we'll defeat all other people.
That is blackmail. All right.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Okay. So
from there to the middle school.
Okay.
Middle school.
All right.
Form 1 to Form 4. Form 1 wasn't good. Form 2, I wasn't pulling. Form 3, I started coming up because I passed the common entrance there. So I could have gone to HEPS. I don't know why I wanted to go to HEPS.
Okay.
OYP. Mali school, no-go area. It was like I don't know, but people in Ho, our parents in Ho didn't think that we had qualified to be in Mali school. No, they didn't even think about our future. No. They were thinking more about their day. That's it. So some men from Ho, from Dome, let me just say this. And from there, from Form 3, I started waking up from my slumber. Whatever it was that was worrying me. I knew I was not performing well. So I decided to sit up. I told myself I should sit up. And then luckily, we had a good teacher who was teaching us. And then when I got to Form 4, we had the best teacher in my life, Mr. A.K.I. Ijwe, of blessed memory.
Okay.
He would teach us English. And I always have some notebook. Anytime he was teaching, he would teach the word in English and translate into Ebe, and I would do that.
Okay.
And he was using the cane also properly. Yes. So he taught us so many things. He was read so many things to us. And he gave us assignments. On one occasion, let me just cite this one. He gave us an essay topic, what I do every Saturday. And then we all wrote. And after we had finished, we were a class of 48. Somebody just said, let me read my essay. And she read her essay, and every Saturday when I wakes up, I goes to so and so. And then I saw that, hey. Then I said, no, it's not correct. When I wake up, he has taught us not to add the S to the singular. When I wake up, and when I go, no, there are about 44 of the students, of the class people said, you are wrong, you think you know. And as a result, I quickly went for my book and added the S
to everything.
All that. And then the following day, Mr. J came, took the exercise book. When I goes.
When I comes.
He was going through them. And then he took mine. He read, he saw that I had said, Ele bulu wecha. Ele bulu wecha. We are mapoe. Mapoe papa mesiame. In those days, one or two cases, you hear me screaming.
Okay.
Then I was screaming, but he didn't bother. He gave it to me proper before he got to the others. And since then, I had to listen and listen carefully. And this also helped me when I went to the interview at St. Teresa's. From middle school, Form 4, I took the entrance exam to St. Teresa's Training College. and I passed, and I had to go for an interview.
Okay.
And at the interview, it was written. Nobody bought us Pasco. It was written, and it was also verbal.
All right.
Yes, so we wrote, and those things came, and I said, me, because of the cane I had, the beating I had, I remember too well.
All right.
So I did everything, and that was it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So from the middle school, you did not get the opportunity to enter into HEBS or to Mali or any other secondary school for that matter.
No.
You went straight to
the
St.
training
Teresa's
college.
College of Education,
Yes.
then Training College.
Training
All right.
college.
So we'll take a short break here also. And when we come back, we'll go to your working life after St. Teresa's. Where else did you go? Where did you work? And how did even marriage get into the story? You are still live on Dela TV, and this Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration. When we get back from this interview, we'll continue with our conversation. We'll be right back. back to Perspectives, my story and inspiration on Dela TV Live. We are live today on Facebook and also on YouTube. Here on Perspectives, we put the youth first, where we delve into the life story of our guests, pick up a lesson or two, and apply to our lives. So our guest for today is the Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA, the first ever and only for now, the first and only for now, a female Presbyter executive of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, Ghana. We'll continue with our conversation with her, but before we do, today, the Presbyter Mrs. Elizabeth Gbagbo of Avatimevane, the mother of Dr. Gbagbo, is celebrating her 84th birthday today. Today she's 84 years old. Hooray! Mama Lizzie, I'm a Megan Lizzie. Wherever you are, a happy birthday to you. Coming from your son and the whole family, happy birthday to you. Currently, I hear she's not at Vane now. She's at Afienya with the daughter Vaola Gbagbo, wherever you are. Very good evening to all of you. But the birthday cake, mine should be packaged well and sent to me well, so that I can also have a taste of the birthday cake. I will take also a few comments from Facebook before we continue with our conversation. I am still the Reverend DNA Afram. Follow DNA Afram on all social media handles. Just type DNA Afram. Talk of Twitter, talk of Facebook, talk of TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Just type DNA Afram and just follow me. So we'll take a few of the comments we have on Facebook from my co-host, Derek Senag Besemete, before we continue with our conversation.
On a very lighter note, I would like Osofo to make the cake for the whole team available as we finish this program. And then you are still live on Perspective, my story, my inspiration, live here on Dela TV. My name is Derek Senag Besemete, your co-host. Now we delve into some comments coming from you on Facebook about the men. A lot of people are reacting to it, including Aaron Kwame Adeti, and a whole lot, like Ruth Ewenam as well. But this intriguing comment here from Presbyter Dr. Divine Kosi Gbagbo says, I've learned to be determined, focused, and dedicated from Dada LYDIA ADAJAWA when I worked with her as the choir president of Hokboji Church Choir. During the 1997 end of year get-together, she commended my efforts and remarked, you will climb higher, achieve more laurels, and have a title attached to your name. I took that prophecy seriously, and by God's grace, it came to pass. Dada LYDIA, you are a gem and a role model to many. May you continue to inspire the young generation. So that's coming from Dr. Presbyter Divine Kosi Gbagbo from the United States of America. And we have scores of comments from Celestine there saying she is very proud of our own mommy, Dada LYDIA. Ranidels to the team, great works. From Ruth Ewenam as well, I am enjoying this conversation. And another one from David Na Tekpe, amazing family, blessed to be associated with this wonderful family. Lovely tune selection from Sedem Gbagbo. Thanks so much. This is from our very own Francisca Asalu. And then keep up the good work. One of the best program I can't afford to miss. This is from Dignity Kwame Guinea. Osofo, I think that should be all for now. We'll come back when there are so many more comments coming from you. Keep sharing perspectives, my story, my inspiration. Also, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, my co-host, Derek Senag Besemete. Thank you very much for those comments coming to you from Facebook. Let me say a very good evening to the Reverend Alex Owusu, who is also watching us on Facebook. Also, for Owusu, wherever you are, good evening to you and keep up the good work. Mama, welcome back to our studios.
Thank you.
All right. So you got admission. You did not go through the secondary school system. You got admission into St. Teresa's. Let's talk about your time at St. Teresa's. What significant things or thing that happened there that you would want our listeners to learn from? Please share with us.
Thank you very much. When I was invited, when I passed the interview.
Yes.
And then I had to leave for St. Teresa's. We had nothing. I had nothing. My brothers had nothing. So one of my elder brothers, for some had to pack his whatever. He was in Jessica Training College. So I remember he went for a curtain. And then transferred his things into his belongings into that and gave me his old portmanteau. Today you call it briefcase. Yes. But at that time it was portmanteau.
All right.
So that was what I used, an old one, but it was. Then when I got to St. Teresa's, I was crying, I was weeping because I had passed my desire, my dream school, HEPS. Okay. It was on the way to St. Teresa's. Yes. And I entered there. So people were asking, they thought I didn't want to come to, I was missing home. So some of the seniors brought me a bucket to fill it with my tears. I just looked at them and said, you don't understand. That was what I told myself. So for 3 or 4 days, I was doing that. Then I told myself one day that it is not where you are that matters, but who you are over there. I think I said it aloud because people said, who is that? And then they said, hey, this girl, this is Hovike. I said, yes, it is not where you are that matters, but who you are over there.
Mama, before you continue, let me, you know, most of us today, and I dare say most of us in-house today listening to you, it's a little bit confusing to us when you say you bypassed your dream school and you got into a college of education. You know, these days, it's almost, no, in fact, not almost impossible, it's impossible for you not to go through the senior high school and go to the college of education these days.
Thank you.
So why is it that you got the opportunity to go to, if you like, a tertiary institution and you're still crying for not attending?
But then, so it was not tertiary.
Okay.
It was when you see when we were from the middle school, either in Form 1 you write the common entrance, and you leave for a secondary school, prestigious. Then when you come back, they call you a student.
Okay, they call you a student.
So when I hear people calling pupils students, I say you don't understand. You don't know the difference.
Okay, so the rest were pupils.
Oh yes, any middle school and other things, pupils.
Okay.
So the moment you enter, and I wanted to go to HEPS.
Okay.
There was no money, nothing. So okay, I continued. Form 3, nothing. I continued. You see, it was even a pride to pass the common entrance.
Okay.
And when you pass the common entrance, and then the people went back, and then many of you had left for the secondary schools. Wow, the brains had gone.
All right.
The other stupid people over there are stupid ones. That's how some people thought.
All right.
But they didn't know that finances was also part of it. So there was nothing like that.
So that means at the end of the first year, if you like, you had colleagues or mates who had written the common entrance and had gone to the secondary school. All right, but because you didn't have the support, you had to linger on, stay on until
and the training college at that time was the basic.
Okay.
From Set B, it was promoted to Certificate A.
All right.
And then you have to pass through that and then do many other studies before you even get opportunity to get to the university.
Oh, okay.
So
whereas
it was
from the secondary school, you could go directly.
Yes.
All right.
And so the moment you branched into the training college, it was going to be a long process.
Okay.
Yes. It was going to be a long process. So the training college was Certificate A. Initially, it was Certificate B. For 2 years, you come and teach, then you get to Certificate A. But we were also lucky to have it straight.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
So I wanted to, the shortcut was to go to the secondary school. Do 5 years, and then do 6th form, lower and upper, and then enter the university. And by the time you finish the university, the job was waiting.
All right. All right.
Yes, was waiting.
I now get a picture, and I know Mauli, the confusion is cleared from his mind because he didn't really understand when you were talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That is it.
Thank you.
And so to the training college.
Where they brought the buckets to fill your tears. Like, that's what we brought.
And I said, but when I saw them, and I knew my tears, because my parents were not there to see my tears or hear me. Nobody, my brother has tried, my 2 brothers has tried to help me get to the training college. So what is the use of crying? Nobody sees you, except that people will be teasing you. I mean, ignorantly. So I decided, and I said this loud, and somebody heard me say, it is not where you are, but who you are over there. So we shall see. That was the determination.
Okay.
And then first year, life was tough. Because when I was going to school, my father gave me, I don't know how, equivalent of what. Let's say 1 cedi.
Okay.
The TNT was 60 pesos from home to Kokwe. Taxi was 20 pesos. So I had 20 pesos left. For the 3 months. How was I going to use that? Yes. And so that 20 pesos, I made sure I got toilet roll and pad, sanitary pad.
Okay.
So I never went to school with shito.
Wow.
I never went to school with what? Pepsodent.
Wow.
Brush.
Wait, so what were you using?
Chewing stick.
Chewing stick. Wow.
Yes. I would make sure that I got it ready and packed them well and put it together. So what about soap? If anything at all, I had a cake of soap. But I survived for the 12 weeks.
Wow.
I survived on people who were rich and who threw their pieces of soap on the ground after bathing.
You pick those ones?
Oh, I'll pick them.
Wow.
And use them.
Wow.
I didn't have a problem at all. And if you ask me, I'll tell you something you will not like, so you won't even talk to me.
Okay.
And then the issue again also about hair. It was, but then we're supposed to plait our heads.
Okay.
And I wouldn't plait because I didn't have money for the dabraka. And I want somebody to tell me how much is the dabraka today.
Is it? Do we still? Well, we still have the black thread.
For the thread. I couldn't buy it. I couldn't afford it.
Okay.
Yes, so I wouldn't plait my hair.
Wow.
And the seniors were insisting.
That you had to plait
and
your
I
hair.
said, I told them that if I did that, and my head teacher in the middle school taught me that if you did that, you were telling the men that I am ready, I am ready, I am ready. Yes, that was us.
That is if you had plaited your hair. Is that it?
Yes, he said if you plait your hair when we were in middle school here and you had the second cloth above it, then you were advertising yourself. And it got into me. So me, I could comb my hair and that was enough for me. That was enough.
Okay.
And so I couldn't buy food, I couldn't buy anything. I was just a poor student, but nobody knew.
Okay.
Nobody knew because I didn't complain to anybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, on Saturday before the inspection, I would get ready. I would get everything ready, and then I didn't have iron, and I couldn't buy charcoal. And so I needed to iron my school uniform.
Of course.
And I was a very good singer, so I could be singing, join the chorus to be singing, and then you say, okay, can I be ironing? And how I will sing. In the course of this, I finished ironing my dress, school dress. And the house dress, I had put it on from the morning.
Okay.
So by the time it was 2 p.m., where the inspection would be done, I had laid my bed, and I put on the school, it was a check, and I was by it. Everything was neat about me, so I didn't need to be punished and everything at all.
Okay.
There was another thing where there was exits. It was a girls' school, female school.
Yeah.
So once a while, we were allowed to go to town. And they would ring the bell around 9 o'clock for exit on Saturdays, and then check in at 12 o'clock. When the bell was ringing, people were shouting, going. Why? They were going to buy fufu, they were going to buy food, they were going to do all kinds of things, but I didn't have any place to go. Okay. So what I did was to go around borrowing their story books, their books.
Okay.
And then by the time you came, I would read and make notes.
Wow.
To enrich here. And then they would have them back. And so that was part of it. When it was time, I was telling you, my father gave me money, which the 1 cedi, which lasted to the end of the term.
The term, yeah.
And so it was time now to go home. And I was expecting that he would send me money to go home. But he would send the money the last day, and it will come in what we call a slip form. So I had get a slip the day that we were vacating.
Okay.
But I was the happiest, shouting, home going, yo, home going. We are going home. And when our driver arrived, some bone shaker arrived, hey, it was everywhere. The other people would come with buses, but we had a bone shaker, but we still were proud. And so we get on board, and I'll be leading the jammer in the track. Then when we're getting nearer the post office in Kokwe, I'll whisper into the driver's ears, can you pass through the post office so that I can catch money?
Oh,
hey! Then the others will say, hey, the blue guy. Okay, if you don't go, then you be here.
Yeah.
Me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold.
Yeah.
That's all. So in the end, he will pass there, I'll collect the money.
Okay.
But then it was something repeatedly done by Papa. I didn't understand. And so again, I'll have 20 pesos left for the holiday. So today I don't think the young ones can stand. Why did I decide not to? I didn't just bother about anything. I just felt that one day, I'll make it.
Yes, that's the determination. That's the spirit.
Because I told myself it's not where you are,
but who you are, where you are.
Yes,
that's great. It's not where you are, but who you are, where you are. But then, in all this, did you at any point in time get tempted to do anything out of the ordinary in order to make ends meet for yourself? When I'm talking about out of the ordinary, like we do today, you go to the universities, and there are some young ladies who are, excuse me to say, sleeping with men just to make ends meet. Did you at any point in time get tempted to veer into anything like that?
I just thank God. When I cast my mind back, it was, the supervision was also great.
Okay.
Sometimes during the holidays, I'll be in the house, and so in the room, somebody's room in the house, either reading or something. Then suddenly, one of my elder brothers will come, just to come and see what I was doing.
Okay.
And they will see me reading or doing something. If I'm not reading, they say, no, then I wake up and sit down. And it didn't cross our minds. Many people, it didn't cross our minds. We felt, because the kind of, even the place, that kind of thing, you'll be very dirty, you'll be, so it was like very, very innocent. Yes. And today, I think we have, maybe, I don't know whether I say we have over-pampered our young ones who have everything at their disposal. And so the next thing is to think about what next to enjoy life. But we are thinking of survival. I was thinking about survival, actually. That was it. So, finding money left and right.
You didn't have the luxury of time to start thinking about all that, all right?
No.
Okay, so you managed for the, how many years? 3 years?
4 years.
4 years to finish the...
But one thing I didn't forget is that I enjoyed, apart from reading, I enjoyed singing and dancing.
All right.
So student dance. I told you students.
Yes.
So when we're on holidays, the students will organize some dance. And if you are not in any of the institutions, you are not a student.
Okay.
So you can't go there.
Okay.
So I will go and then dance all through. That's all. I had gone to dance, not to meddle or mingle with the boys.
How would you describe yourself in a group? Would you say you were the life of the group? As in, when you get there, everybody has to be happy. Is that the kind of person you are?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Yes, it depends on the situation. If it was games, I was there.
Okay.
If it was singing and the Bible and those things, I was there. And academic work, yes, by God's grace, I got sharpened up when I got to a training college.
All right.
So people were inviting me to teach, but unfortunately, I was sleeping like a timber log.
You were sleeping?
Oh, I could sleep. I never heard the rising bell.
Wow.
Meanwhile, they said I was an athlete.
Okay.
So they'll ring the bell and come and call me even in the dormitory, but I was asleep.
Why did you always have to battle by it in you? That's just by the way, Mama. So let's talk about, before we take our next break, so you managed to finish with your training college.
For 4 years.
4 years training college.
And I was thrown, after the training college,
all right.
I was thrown to a far-off area, Tikobo #1.
What?
Tikobo #1.
Tikobo #1. Which region, which district?
Western region near Hafasini.
Oh, okay.
A tiny little girl.
Wow.
From home to Accra, Accra to Takrady, Takrady to Axim, and then you board
That's very
it was a horrible one. And we tried. I tried.
Okay.
I tried all I could.
Okay.
My people tried for me we went to the regional office here all the time to change it, but There was a man there who could have helped me, but he didn't. He just said, "Oh, you go, go and try it," and it was good. I went. Yes, it was good. I went because when I got there, I had opportunity to study on my own, to write the O's. So I wrote those things, all those, on privately.
All right. You taught from 1970 to 1984. Let's just know, please let us know the stations apart from the Tikobo number 1. Which other stations did you serve at as a teacher before going into the university?
We call it PRESBYTER. It's in the Hunter area.
Okay.
With an oil refinery, not a palm oil refinery.
Okay.
Yes. So I stayed there to teach, and I think I was okay. It was a nice place. It was although a village still, but it was okay. And from there I came to Ho, and I taught in the Dume primary school.
Okay.
For a while.
Okay.
And then I was sent to Hopoji to head the middle school over there, which I wasn't happy with.
Why?
Oh, I was behind Tasso. We are Tasso from Tasso to Hopoji, short distance. So why Poji?
Okay.
But I was made to go and head the school over there, and this was what the minister here, the education officer, said. What bet you no bled them maybe out? Can make better well about being
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
as in women don't really do well where they find it, but he believes your tenure will be better.
Yeah, because there was somebody, the male, who was said to be mismanaging.
All right.
And the school wasn't doing really not well, not at all.
All right.
It was always maybe the last amount the schools in Hopoji. And I went, and for about 4 or 5 years, it was 100%.
Wow.
100%. And no lateness. People who were even coming from Voje, previously they were getting to school around 9 o'clock. But during my 10, I told them, one of them met me at the bank and said, "Hey, you, don't be let me." And then when we complained, he said, "We don't care. I don't care whether you come from Voje or Voibo." I said, "Me, did I say that?" I said, "Yes."
Okay.
And so I straightened things, and that school became one of the best schools. With all academic and football and farming and everything, we took the first.
All right. All right. So, Mommy, after teaching for a while, went to the University of Ghana, where she read psychology. Yes, at the university, she became a teaching assistant, also in the same department, before she got into the service of the church. But before we go on this next break, and we'll come back talk about marriage. We'll talk about marriage after this break. Let me just pose the last question to you here. Is there this one teacher or tutor at the St. Teresa's Training College but that you would never forget, and why?
I think Mrs. Aja.
Aja. Okay.
Mrs. Aja.
Okay.
The first year, first term, when the results came after the exams, she took my paper and said, you copied and you got the first. You copied and you got very good marks. And I didn't know what she was saying.
Okay.
I was copied from where? There was no way you could copy anything. I just started. Then the following term, he said, you this one. When she said another thing which was funny, and I didn't. There was nothing like that. So I was. Who are you to even complain? So I was just quiet, looking at her. Would you respond? I said, "Madam, I did nothing.
Okay.
I just sat in and wrote.
Okay.
And you chewed and poured.
Is that also a sin?
And then the second year, the trend followed.
Okay.
The third year, I don't know how I got a report. She said, in fact, she wrote in her handwriting and signed, in fact, an all-round student.
An all-round student?
Yes.
Wow.
And so she stopped giving me all that headache about you. Ask a question, and where the question was difficult, Ella Blue. Hey. And the aggressive manner, she Ella Blue, stand up and answer the question. And then, by God's grace, I'll be able to answer.
Okay.
And so that was how she blew me hot and cold.
Okay.
But eventually, maybe it was because of her that I studied harder. Because why should she think I copied?
Yeah.
I chewed. And so I started reading on my own. And I was adding to whatever answers I had, I was adding. So gradually she saw that. And she wrote those comments. So I don't think I have forgotten her. And she was one person who would make us always laugh. She was a very serious and hard woman. She entered the room and people stood up. We all stood up to say good morning. We said, look at you. Stood up grudgingly. If you don't want to greet me, you can stay. After all, when I'm coming from my home, my house to this way, they'll say, "Who's not way me? Who's not like me? Who's not way for her?" They'll say all this. So if you don't want to greet me, oh yeah. And I think and then she told us how she was old before she went to the university, and how she went through it. So when it was time for me to go to university, I was going back to her. I said, even Mrs. Owusu was not this old, but I was not as old as her, but she performed. So if I had children before I entered the university, it's no guarantee I should be able to perform and perform well.
All right, there should be no excuse or guarantee. You should be able to do better. On that note, we'll take a short break, and when we'll come back, we'll delve into marriage. How and when along this line did it come into the question? We'll do that and continue with the rest of the conversation. This still is Dela TV. This is Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration. We'll be right back after this break.
My name is Mrs. Dela, the General Manager, EPC Ghana, and Director of Education. Keep watching Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration on Dela TV. God richly bless you.
Keep watching Perspective,
My Story and Inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Join us to learn from the life lenses of our seasoned guests with the host, Reverend DNA Afram. Perspectives coming to you every fortnight, Sundays at 4 p.m. For further enquiries, call 0249 820 162. Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration.
I'm modeling Jeffe Bafali Joyland.
Stacy Presla.
Laurentia Adaji Pelikem Alberta, the senior prefect of EPC Malco Girls, and I endorse Perspectives.
I endorse Perspectives.
It is a very inspirational and educational program.
I'm really touched.
I've been touched by every single part of the story.
I pray you all watch it and it will help you.
You will never regret your time spent with us.
Keep watching and stay tuned to Dela TV.
Keep watching Dela TV.
Keep watching Perspective,
My Story and Inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
To partner, advert placement or for enquiry, please call or WhatsApp 0249 820 162. Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration.
Welcome back to Dela TV, and this still is Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration. On Perspective, we put our youth first. Before we delve into the lives of our guests, speak a lesson or two apply to our lives. We have in the studios today the Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA, the original Awawa herself. She's in the studios for today, getting into her life. Before we continue with the conversation, I said we'll be delving into marriage. When and where and how did it come along these lines? Before we do that, let's take some other comments from Facebook, and my co-host Derek Senna is standing by to do that.
DNA Afram. We are still continuing with some of your comments on Facebook. And this one got me as I saw it. My sweet mama and a mother for all. We are honored and always grateful for having you. God bless you always. Long live the EPCG. Long live Dela TV. And I'm sure some of us know who we are talking about, none other than ADAJAWA Joy Mensah, son of our very own mama. And the smiles are saying it all, they are confirming it. A very amazing woman who loved to work with the younger generation. She doesn't have a short memory at all, and she appreciates everyone around her. She's actually resourceful and won't just let you be until you get to the very top. This is from Ernest Ado Mensah, one of us here. This is from Skylar Dicta, one and only mama, always a role model to ladies like me. Much love. This is from Skylar Dicta. And then this one also from Francisca Asalu. Mrs. ADAJAWA, thanks for raising awareness of perverts, rapists embedded in our communities, which so many people shy away from speaking about. Thank you very much, Mama. We are most grateful for that. Great one, Dela TV, Aiko. Mommy, you are really an inspiration. This is from Dinah Ajo Tagbo. Reverend, I think that's all we have for now.
All right. Thank you very much, Derek, for those comments. You are still live with us, and Mommy is still in the house. Awawa is still in the house for today. Mama, so you worked as a few stations that you have mentioned to us. When did the issue of marriage come in, and how did you finally settle?
Well, as you grow, you begin to think about life. There you are.
Wow.
Yes, you find out as you're growing, is that all? Are you going to work? Those days, there was a little bit of more emphasis on marriage and childbearing than today. Yes, so as you went to school and you came out and you were teaching, you got almost employed, the next thing you think about is marriage. And so, yeah, some suitors came around, but there's a need for you to make a choice. And the choice must be based on the word of God. And me, when I was confirmed, what I picked was the fear of God.
Okay.
It's the beginning of wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
And I didn't understand. So I went to Mrs. Asase, this lady, the man over there, Mrs. Saka Setasase, the wife. She asked me when I understood what I had picked. I said no. So she explained it to me.
Okay.
So if you don't fear God, make sure that you are not going to make it alive. It is that one which, so then everything then should be, I jump over certain things where my hope was on God. At the point I was asking him, when I was in those challenges, I was asking God, is it my lot? Is it my lot? Should I, we were about 4 ladies in the house. This one has got here, and then me, I continue to sell kapa. God, is it my lot?
Kafato.
Then somehow the letter came.
Okay.
So I knew that there was a God.
Okay.
Yes, and then when we were in middle school before the confirmation, you know, we had to, I don't know whether it's still done now, we had to go to a certain process. That is a kind of a confession.
Yes.
Do you still do it?
Yes, we still do.
Do they come?
They come. They come.
And I was seeing people panicking.
Okay.
Panicking. What am I going to say?
Yes.
Am I going to reveal myself?
Yes.
Am I going to say all those things?
Yes.
So if you are going to go through all these things, why do you allow yourself to be wayward? So by God's grace, we have gone through the challenges, but it got to a time when I should marry. And a few people came up, but again, I was wondering, this one, that one, that one. So I made a choice. Yes. Sometimes too, it's good to listen to certain things that happen to people. That will help you decide on certain things. So eventually, the person who came forward bold enough was Mr. John ADAJAWA.
Okay.
And so we got married, and we have got our 3 children. And Cyril is the first one, nearly 50. So we've been married for long.
Wow.
Joy, and then Fred, and then Joy. I think there's another picture which shows the 3.
So which ones are there now? I can see you
Okay.
Is that you?
Yeah, you can see Fred.
Fred, okay.
And then Joy.
Okay.
They are now big men.
All right. What were they drinking? Was it Christmas? Because mostly it's either Christmas or Easter that you get to drink something like that.
Yeah. I think something like that.
All right. All right.
There's another one if you can bring it. The one I brought. No.
Aaron, let's have another. Let's see the family pictures. Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay,
you see some of the family pictures.
Yeah.
But Mama, so you had many suitors, is that it?
Oh yes.
And out of which did you also prayerfully settle on who?
It was. You see, a little bit of ignorance was part of it. I won't say I was prayerful. I was strong.
Okay.
I told you the background had broken down.
Yes.
And so, but then the question, I kept on asking certain questions. And when the more questions I asked, the more answers I got. God let me fly. I have not forgotten. God let me fly above this. And then I went up.
There you go.
And the people never got me. And then again, when I was those kinds of situations, I was asking God, is this my lot? Am I going to end here? And if I tell you how the letter to the interview at St. Teresa's came to me, it was another miracle. I don't know if I can talk about another time.
So you married, so does that mean you got married before entering the training college?
No. Hey, who are you?
That's why when you said the letter, so I thought you...
Who are you? You dare not.
Okay.
I was being policed.
All right.
By my brothers.
Okay.
And so there was no way you could go wayward. No.
Okay, so how old were you when you settled for marriage?
23.
Oh, okay.
23.
All right.
And so when today people are getting to 40, young women getting to 40 and other things, I have a bit of a challenge.
Okay.
But it's a choice anyway. But I'm just saying I have a bit because childbirth is an issue.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, because I was younger, the first one, I didn't even know. When I was in labor, I was asking my mother some funny questions.
Okay.
I was asking her whether somebody in labor will have to go through a abdominal pains.
Okay.
And she said, "Hey, they cook."
Okay.
And I said yes.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, you were 23 when you got married. Did anybody at all say you were too young? Did you get any such complaints?
No. Maybe they didn't tell me. I don't know whether they thought about it.
Okay.
Because I had finished school and I was working. And the next thing should be marriage.
All right.
And before you even continue, because we were from the training college, we were not going to go anywhere after 5. You would have to remain the teaching field at least for 5 years before you could move ahead.
How was it raising 3 boys?
Tough. Very tough. Very, very tough. These ones. It was tough. Yes. And Mensa, I'm surprised that they are calling him CJ, which is School Joy.
Okay. Because he was not cool.
Oh no. He was the champion guy around the area. Fighting everybody, biting everybody. Fighting even elderly ones. Yes, he was robust.
Strong.
He was strong. And when somebody came to misbehave and they were calling soldiers to come and arrest, he would come and stand and read the soldier. Who are you? Who are you? That kind of thing.
Okay.
And then you wonder what he's coming up to be.
All right.
But one day I heard CJ. I said, who is CJ? They said Joy. I said, CJ means what? Cool Joy. I said, wow.
The transformative power of God.
It's been cool, actually. It's not easy because they fight. They'll fight. He and Freddie, for example, could fight in the morning when we were leaving for school. I've given them instruction. They would so, and then I was also getting ready. By the time you are aware, each one had thrown the bucket of water, his bucket of water away, the other one, and then as soon as your brother throws your bucket of water away, you make sure you catch hold of his towel.
Wow.
And roll it in the mud. And then the other one does it.
Okay.
Then the fight will begin. And there was no water in hole. No, there was no water in hole. So it was difficult to get another 2 buckets for them to bath. And all I said was, it's 7 o'clock. By 7:30, we are on the way to school. I don't care how you cause yourself ready.
Okay.
You have to bath, you have to put on your school uniform, you have to eat. 7:30, we are off.
All right. All right.
And they complied.
All right. Let's make progress now, mommy. Now, all this while you were, from all this, I've seen that you spent most of your life here in Ho. Is that the case?
Yes.
Most of your life.
Yeah,
right.
but the young one, my children were born before I went to the training college.
What time is it? I see a very beautiful picture.
50 years.
Okay.
When I was 50 years, and this was in Hawaii.
Wow.
USA, this one.
Okay.
Hawaii, USA.
That's beautiful.
50 years.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
26 July.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That's pretty. All right. Okay. Is
At
that Tamils?
Tamils.
Wow. Late president.
Yeah, in his office.
Okay.
We're presenting a gift to him.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, in doing all these things, growing up, I mean, keeping the family together and all, how active were you in the church?
Thank you very much. I told you I went to teach in Etikobo number 1.
Yes.
And then came down to another place. There was no church, nothing.
Okay.
Yes, nothing at all. So I kind of missed something. And because in the middle school, you were made to attend church, whether you liked it or not. If you didn't go to church Sunday, Monday, oh, Kuse, sorry for you.
Yeah.
So it was a habit forced on us, but some of us picked it.
All right.
So there was no church, and then I came on holidays. One time I came on holidays, I told I was interested in dancing and all that, so I would go to those places. Fine. But then the Sunday was moving me. Why you will go to dance to the dance floor? Why not in the church? And then on one occasion I went to the Hokoji and the Old Chapel. And then I saw the church choir sing. And I head tenor. And the Hokoji choir, I don't know how to express myself. Then CYB, but then they were playing something we call the banjo.
Okay.
And those days you couldn't sit up and dance, so we're only tapping. You dare not. The church choir was also not even drumming. No, you couldn't drum.
Okay. What year are we talking about? That was around.
That was even before I married. So that's around 1970, right. 71, 72. 73, I started serious church going. Okay. And then 74, 75, and 12. So when I saw that, I was highly interested in activities of the church. And then when I was transferred back home, somebody, the late Mr. G.K. Butchwe, may he rest in peace, he just on his own decided to find...
I see a picture of, I believe, the whole family?
Yes.
Okay, so who is who? My extreme right, who is there?
Extreme Cyril.
Yes, Cyril, okay.
The father, John.
The daddy,
Fred.
Okay.
And then Joy, CJ.
Joy, CJ. That's CJ. Cool Joy. Cool wow. Joy. Who wasn't cool, but now cool.
Now cool.
All right. That's beautiful. All right, you may continue, Mama. Sorry.
And so, Mr. Butchwe just said, I don't know, I came home with a heavily pregnant and I couldn't do anything. But he just managed to fix me with the AP church, AP schools. Yeah. One of the schools he had put me in Dome. And I hadn't asked him nothing. So anyway, by God's grace, I was able to tell him and appreciate him before he died recently. Okay. So when I came back and I was in the school and I was attending school, church, I was captivated. I was caught. I don't know how else to express it. In the webs of the church choir. Okay. So no two ways. Okay. I joined the choir. And we learned, I think, for 6 months. Yes. Before I started robing. And since then I had never looked back. All right. Yeah. All right. And by God's grace, you were given scriptures to read. It was a pride, my young ones. If you ever had the opportunity to read in the church, it's a big pride. It's something great. So I can see somebody here who also launches their appeal for funds. that Poto girl.
Jennifer, Josephine, right?
Yeah.
All right, Josephine.
And the younger brother preaches.
All right,
these are gifts.
Okay.
These are gifts that we must uphold. And I joined the church choir, and I became an active member of the church.
All
yes.
right. So, in all this, which year were you consecrated as a presbyter?
96.
96.
Yes, 96.
All right. How did you get voted in 2007 as presbyter executive of the church? 2006, yes.
I was, but then I was in Accra. I was the Christian Council of Ghana, and I was worshiping with the Dansoman EP Church.
Okay.
But then we had put up our building at a place we call Kalabole Junction near Kasua.
Okay.
So we moved there and we started worshiping with a smaller church, a newly found church called Galilee EP Church. So we're there, and then I heard the person, Mr. Presbyter Atake, his term of office had ended. And then I was asking myself, I wanted to find out who and who could be presbyter executive. So I read about it and said, oh no, 10 years as a presbyter. And I had done 40 years already. And first degree holder. And I said, I hold an MPhil degree. So what prevented me from contesting? So I decided to contest.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. A candidate from Accra. And surprisingly, I don't know what happened. When they were processing the papers, they didn't find mine in Accra.
Wow.
So somebody called me, telling to apply. I said, I did. There's nothing around you here. So I said, ask the software, and I gave him the name. He called him and said, oh, sorry, I've left. I don't know whether he said it. I even forgot. I don't know. I don't know whether it was a sabotage. And the people pressed on quickly. If you don't bring that application, that we will not continue. Okay. So they brought it, and then they did the election over there. We were 3, and then I stopped by God's grace. And so my name was sent to Ho. Okay. And then by then there were about 10 presbyteries. But only 9 presbyteries
had submitted names.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't know, there was nothing like campaign. I didn't do anything. No. But all I knew was that at the end, the day that they were going to vote, people, some of the contestants with me, approached me and said I should back out. And I said, why? I said, oh, another time you will go. And I said, which is the next time? Oh, please give me the opportunity. I said, which is the next time you are talking about? It is my time. He was not the only person. He was not the only person. Many people I said, what's your problem?
Okay.
And they said they even don't want a female. I said, okay, let's hope you don't win a female. Otherwise, you will be. And people said the job was too rough. The terrain was rough. I shouldn't try it. And I said, I am coming in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
So they went for the conclave and came back with 3 names.
Okay.
And then the election, somebody got 19, another person got 30, and I got 70 plus.
Wow.
So that was it.
All right. That's how she became the first and for now only presbyter executive that the church, the first female presbyter executive that the church has ever had. And she was voted 26th August 2006. Mama, let's do some education here. But before we do, let me just ask this question. I've also noticed that you've traveled a lot. Out of the 195 countries in the world, how many have you traveled to?
I can't tell. Uncountable.
There was this man who was boasting about the number of countries that he had traveled to. I was here, I was there. And one person listening said, hey, then you know geography very well. So yes, I was in geography for 2 years. Oh! So how long did you stay in geography? So on that geography note, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about the duties of the presbyter executive and how she was able to hold that office until she left office. We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you.
I'm modeling Jeffe of Joyland.
Tasty Presla.
Laurentia Adaji Pelikema Alberta, the senior prefect of EPC Malco Girls, and I endorse Perspectives.
I endorse Perspectives.
It is a very inspirational and educational program.
I'm really touched.
I've been touched by every single part of the story.
I pray you all watch it and it will help you.
You will never regret your time spent with us.
Keep watching and stay tuned to Dela TV.
Keep watching Dela TV.
Keep watching Perspective,
My story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
To partner, advert placement, or for enquiry, please call or WhatsApp 0249 820 162. Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration.
My name is Mrs. Marianne Dela, the General Manager at EPC Ghana and Director of Education. Keep watching Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration on Dela TV. God richly bless you.
Keep watching Perspective,
My Story and Inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Join us to learn from the life lenses of our seasoned guests with the host, Reverend DNA Afram. Perspectives coming to you every fortnight, Sundays at 4 p.m. For further enquiries, call 0249 820 162. Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration.
Welcome back to Dela TV Live, and still we are on Perspectives, My Story and Inspiration, and we still have in the house Mama Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA Awawa herself. She's here with us having a very interesting conversation. And in fact, like I said, I've noticed, I read her profile and she has traveled to a lot of countries in here in Africa and elsewhere. I can say, well, I can't put a number to it, but a lot. I'll just give her the opportunity to tell us which some of the countries she has traveled to and what her role there was. I know some were for education purposes, some were, she has held, in fact, a lot of positions, and she had to travel in order to be able to embark of the businesses of the portfolios that she held. So, Mama, please just tell us some of the countries you traveled to and what you did there.
It was 1989. I was elected as an executive committee member for West Africa.
Okay.
And this is a board. Okay. It's a world body of all Presbyterians in the world. Okay. So that we call it World Alliance of Reformed Churches. Later on turned into World Communion of Reformed Churches. Yes. I was elected to represent West Africa in Seoul. But our headquarters was in Geneva, Switzerland. So we went to Geneva as many times as possible to have meetings. When anytime a group did not invite us, we needed churches to invite us to go and hold meetings. So I went to Brazil, Australia, and New Zealand. I don't know, Cameroon, in Africa. Several times to the US, several times to the Germany, Sweden, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Italy, and then Ghana and Africa. We went to Cuba as well, Nigeria, Togo, and many other African countries. We went for executive committee meetings to take decisions on behalf of the members of the church. And so, whatever happened, for example, where is the building? The big one where
the Siva?
Before the Siva.
Oh, okay. The Ebdra building.
Ebdra building. While I was with the people, I was trying to find out what they could do for us because we were also paying dues. Okay. And so by God's grace, I was able to raise money from there, added to some other ones to build that one. But there were many other places where I was able to get money from to build some churches in the Bato area and all those places. And we have also tried to see what we'll be able to do to get a kind of scholarship for people here. So if you know, there's something called the Swabenism. Yes. Swabedin scholarship.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think it's still working.
Yes, it
hasn't been cancelled yet.
All
We
right.
got that. And what else? A lot.
All right.
At least there were times when you saw some vehicles for the women work, written on 2 vehicles for the women.
1, I think it's 1.
There were 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a kind of a barter system. I don't know how to express it.
Yeah.
I just felt that we should be able to. It came to a time when we said we should make friends. We should get people to make friends with the work.
Networking.
So I began to do that. Gather some women in Ghana, EP Church, and say EP Church is now a friend to WCRC.
All right.
So what can we do? We sent money.
Okay.
CV called the Asigan.
Okay.
We sent money and then they gave us money for the bands. Yeah.
So obviously, mommy knows geography very, very, very well because she's traveled to a lot of places. But mommy, let's do a little bit of education here. We know the Presbyter Executive, the office, and we know he is, if you like, the 3rd in command, the church, the 3rd member, like they used to call it, the 3rd person of the General Assembly Executive Standing Committee. But apart from members seeing the Presbyter Executive travel with the Moderator of General Assembly and the Clerk of General Assembly, most of us do not really know what he or she is expected to do. What are the specific duties of the Presbyter Executive?
The Presbyter, in fact, when I was here, I was kind of liaising. I was liaising between the 2. I was liaising between the public and the church.
Okay.
And then you see, you have to also sit down and see what have you brought to the office and what can you do. You are with a large number of people. How will you be able to get some help from them? So some of us decided on certain things that nobody told us to do. For example, during my tenure of office, the church didn't have to pay for ropes for ministers.
Okay.
I just put that across. Would you so address for the pastor?
Even if the preaching gown?
The preaching gown.
Okay.
The preaching gown.
Right.
How do you call it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Preaching gown, yeah.
I didn't have, the church didn't have to.
Okay.
So what I did was to appeal to people. Anywhere I went, if you couldn't sew even one, give me money for half. So I'll put some them together, and by the time we were away, I had got enough ropes.
All right.
And I had got enough money over there so that during ordination,
yeah,
the church didn't have to look for money.
Okay.
Because it's so difficult to get money from the top here.
That's true.
So we needed to use those monies to sow. And then again, we looked at situations. Should we do here, this particular area, what should it be agreed? So we have something we call self-help projects.
Yeah.
It was existing before I came, but I built on it. So we have self-help projects all over, but there is a need for supervision.
All right.
And need for constant visit to be able to get the people to pay to the Germans. Otherwise, you'll be blacklisted.
All right.
And so I had to go sometimes to the bush to see the piece of land that the person has who wants to develop. And so people didn't think a woman could do that, but I think we did that. I did that over and over and over. And luckily, there are people from Germany right here with us. They were coming and then we're going out together to many, many parts. I mean, not only the Volta region. No. Volta region was too small for us and too easy, cheap. We went to the north and other places. We looked at our Greek centers, are Greek. We did a Greek. Anything that will raise the image of the church. Not necessarily the pastor has to do all. So we have to. So the Presbyter Executive, yes, it's not only traveling with the moderator and the clerk. No. You have to do so many things on your own. So sit down, plan, and carry out.
So what do you say about the suggestion that we should at least be able to open epidural pharmacy in every region of this country? What do you see to that?
That was my dream.
Okay. What hindered you?
The first thing was after we set this one up here, we got money for Akachi.
Okay.
Yes. We had the money, we had the funding. And they got the accommodation. We went. They were working on it. Everything was done. And then this man who is here right now, Wolfgang Bloom, was also there. We took him there.
Okay.
Everything was set, but we were looking for a pharmacist.
Okay. A pharmacist.
A pharmacist. Actually, we had one in Ho, but we couldn't use him over there. Right. The rule was that each pharmacy and a pharmacist.
Okay.
And we looked for pharmacists for the Akashi area. We couldn't get, so I don't know what happened. It was so painful. Okay. Otherwise, the desire was that each presbytery should have
at least
what we have here, so that we go around. The presbytery will not have to beg for money. You know, so you depend on that, because the pharmacy makes a lot of money if you are able to.
Do you think this is still doable? This realization of this dream, do you think it's still doable, achievable?
It depends on the zeal of somebody.
Okay.
People who are they zealous about it, and at a point I was suggesting that we should look at our students, people who are qualifying from our students, and intentionally train pharmacists for the church. So if we train pharmacists for the church, these pharmacists would be able to man those. They may not only have to remain there; they could be doing other things, but have an oversight. This responsibility of that. So I am so hoping that it should be done, because they are springing up all over. Springing all over. And what are we doing, Church?
All right. You are still on Perspectives on Dela TV. We still have in the house the first female president executive of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, the President Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA. Mama, the Constitution, the just promulgated, if you like, or updated Constitution of the Church says one of the roles of the President Executive is to be an advisor to the moderator of General Assembly and the clerk of the General Assembly. Was that also your role? And if yes, how do you advise the Moga and the Koga, if you like?
I think it is a very, very, very laudable idea, and a good one, in that this person is between the pastors, let me say the ordained and the lay, and perhaps to be able to see farther. Some of you are very busy, especially at the top over there. They are so busy writing, overseeing. So this person, I was made a chief whip.
Okay.
Me, I was a chief whip. So I had to open my eyes wide to see this one and that one, and I was giving pieces of advice. It could be taken, it could not be taken, but then you have brought an idea. So it isn't bad. If it's a good idea, and I think if we sit down and talk about it properly, people understand it very well, it should be able to work and push the church forward. Yes.
All right. So as a woman, did you have, and the first female to occupy that office, did you have any challenges in the office that you thought was because you were a female occupying that office? If yes, what were some of these challenges?
Well, I think if there was anything at all, it was subtle.
Okay.
Yes, subtle.
Okay.
In people's mind, she shouldn't be here.
All right.
But I had registered myself. So you couldn't push me away.
Okay.
So people felt, okay, sometimes they will even ask you, President, they want to know, are you, what? Are you strict? Are you that hard? Are you so and so? And I said, why are you asking? I see you as somebody who is a dictator and whatnot. I said, no, we are working together. So the issues must be discussed, and then we come out to a amicable solution. Actually, it's not easy. It's not easy.
So you have worked with the late Reverend Dr. Buama, and also worked with the very Reverend Francis Amel. You worked with the both of them. This is a very sensitive question, Mama. From the grapevine, occasionally you hear of the two clerical members of the standing committee sidelining the representative of the lay on the standing committee. Did you suffer anything like that? If yes, how did you as a person deal with that?
A little. A little.
Okay.
But I didn't accept it.
Okay.
No. I didn't allow that. Because if you don't take it, even some job, if they were telling me that you will not be able to perform that while I was going to be elected, they said it's a rough terrain. You will not be able to stand it. So you expect that when you even enter, they will tell you the same thing. People were thinking that because I was a woman and I'm still a woman, I will not be able to. But they were surprised to see that no. The type of woman we think is a different woman, a different person altogether.
Okay.
And so yes, it's happening. Some people are the sidelining happens at certain places, but there is a need for you to stand firm. I mean, when you have said fine, you don't have to fight. There's no need to fight. Just be yourself and take the center page. Period.
All right.
Be yourself.
All right.
Everywhere. When tonton anya dukuwe, ga kpofina and beke. No dukuwe si. No dukuwe me.
All right. No dukuwe si. No dukuwe me. That's a good one. Mama, let me get on to, we'll be going on a short break, then we'll come finally to wrap up the conversation. We are trying as much as possible to be done with this interview in about 15, 16 minutes. How did you deal with human resource development during your administration, working with two moderators at the time, the late Dr. Buama and the first moderator of the General Assembly, the very Reverend Francis? How did you deal with human resource management, human resource development, so to say? Because it's just nice maybe getting our pastors and getting church members to man some sensitive parts of our development or our church. How did you deal with that?
Before I came here, I was in a conversation with somebody at the AACC.
Okay.
Asking for this kind of training.
Okay.
To be given to our top hierarchy. And by God's grace, we had opportunity. So we had, I think, 3 different occasions. We had sent people to go and learn. This was in Kenya.
Okay.
To learn about human development and all that human resources, so that if they came, they will be able to integrate that, use that in the church. Unfortunately, I was denied the opportunity to go with them intentionally, and I didn't bother. It didn't bother me at all. And so I was expecting to see a change. I was expecting to see these people who have gone to learn to come and implement, and I never saw anything. So I don't know. Yeah, but
so
there is a need.
Think, yes, and do you think we still have a lot to do when it comes to human resource development?
We need very much a lot because this is a church with a cross section of people being great, talented, who will be able to take all these things along and work with us. So we shouldn't throw people away. We should invite them. Perhaps I don't know what is happening, because I don't know if it is money matter or something, but we need resource people to handle this church. We need them.
Okay.
I saw this from they just celebrated 175th anniversary. Yeah. There are people we didn't know. But one person who came on board to handle our finances, he's just great.
Yeah.
Where has he been?
That's the question.
Yes, where has he been? And if he's not even coming to be full-term, could be part-time, we could get him involved.
Okay.
And then also, I mean, there are people.
All right.
So when we allow them to say wherever they are, let's invite them, pick them, put them, give them opportunities to do. Not only people who can talk and shout. No.
Not only people who can talk and shout. Talking about the 175th anniversary, let me just quickly pose this one to you before we go for our final break. You were the chairperson for the Central Committee for the 175th anniversary celebration of the church, which happened last year, in fact, the whole of last year. How would you rate your work as a committee? From 1 to 10?
7.
7.
Over 10.
That's a pass mark.
Yes.
Some have asked me even before I came live on this show today, where are our Bibles? How would you answer?
They are coming.
They are coming. In the pipeline. What is the percentage?
Oh, like
Yo, we see. And what is our anniversary project? I hear it's a conference center. How far with the anniversary project?
We have just finished, and it was last or 2 weeks ago that we gave our report, the final report and the finances. So we have some money. We have made some money. We're not giving any money, but we try to make some profit.
All right.
I don't know whether it's profit or whatever it is, but we have not lost.
All right.
No, we have not incurred any debt.
Hallelujah.
And then we have another 1,000 bags of cement waiting.
Yes, yes.
So it is up to us now to Ghana people. We can still do it.
Okay.
Everybody, I heard the mother say 10 cedis. 10 cedis, well, I don't know whether 10 cedis will be enough, but there are people who can give more.
Okay.
And I know, but unfortunately, people who want to work for the church always want to charge and collect heavy money.
That's true.
Which is terrible. Yeah. So sketches of these things, meanwhile, there are places in the other churches, people who are ready to work for it and say, so that their names remain with the church. But if you charge the church so much, do we put your name onto it? No. So there is a need for us to own this church.
All right.
If you want to, young ones, we can all do it. You have a means of owning something in the church.
All right.
Yes, there's a need.
You took over in 2007. That is exactly 10 years after the 150 years anniversary celebration. I want you to compare the 175th to the 150. You were old enough 10 years before you took office. Which of the celebrations did you enjoy more?
Maybe the 150. When I was not tearing. Okay. So I had the opportunity to
enjoy, to get involved in the enjoyment.
Yes, although I played major roles, very, very huge roles, and I opened my house to people to have lunch, breakfast, whatever they did. So I don't know if that one or this one to okay, maybe we have tried in getting the top people to attend. Right. Recently we returned from Accra. We went to thank the Vice for being present and donating. All right. We're going back to thank Nana and then former president. I mean to celebrate and get these people to attend. It's a big show. It's a big one. And we want to thank everybody who has been involved in it.
All right. We're racing against the clock, but I need to pose this question because she also happens to be a lecturer at the EP University College, which also started in 2007, thereabout. Yes, started in 2007 up to now. Mama, the EPUC, where did we go wrong with the commencement of academic work?
I don't understand the question.
Where did we go wrong, the EPUC? Because there are so many challenges. Undeniable challenges with the university. Did we go wrong at all in starting the university? And if yes, where?
It's a big question. I don't think we were wrong.
Okay.
No, because from the very beginning, things started well. It took us a long time to plan. I was in the planning committee from the very onset. Yeah. And we planned so much so that we had a smooth takeoff. And the numbers were increasing. Then suddenly, our mentors, Cape Coast University, who was our mother, to whom we paid so much accreditation bills, so-called NOS, started taking the people away from us, setting up schools here and there, then now in Winneba. And so, and then I hear certain things that I hear. If those things are really happening while we are hard on our students, hey, sometimes they write, I write sometimes. How did you get to the university here? I write. And so I use a high-handed to mark. Okay. Where under some places they are not even marking. And they are giving marks. Okay. And they are giving degrees. Okay. So they told me, we pay so much and you fail us. In other places, we won't even have to pay this much. And then they don't even fail us. So we will go away from the school. That's what I heard. They told me, 2 or 3 students told me. So we have to look at it. But you see, sometimes it's unfortunate. I cannot close my eyes and give you a B when
You don't deserve a
You
B.
don't deserve it. And that's what is happening.
All right. So our major problem has to do with our mentors, our mothers, who are now taking our children away from us, as far as the EPUC is concerned. On that note, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the conversation.
There's another sensitive one.
All right. When we come back, we'll talk about the other sensitive challenge that the EPUC has, and we'll wrap up our conversation for today. We'll be right back after this break.
Very sensitive.
The General Manager, EPSUS Ghana, and Director of Education, Keep watching Perspectives, my story and inspiration on Dela TV. God richly bless you.
Keep watching Perspective,
My story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Join us to learn from the life lenses of our seasoned guests with the host, Reverend DNA Afram. Perspectives coming to you every fortnight, Sundays at 4 p.m. For further enquiries, call 0249 820 162. Perspectives, my story and inspiration.
This is the 16th edition of the Perspectives show, and our 16th guest on the show is Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA. She's our guest for today, and we are still live on Facebook and also on YouTube. This Perspectives, my story and inspiration. We were on the EPUC and its challenges that we've had so far. For the very fact that there are challenges does not mean there is no future. She was about telling us another major challenge that the university has. I'll give her the opportunity to do that, then I'll pose my final questions to her. And we'll also have, in just 2 minutes, a concert that is upcoming. I'll talk to one of the organizers just to tell us what is happening and where it will be happening, and also to invite you, our viewers and our listeners, to the show. So, Mommy, what is this other major challenge that you wanted to talk to us about? All right.
That's all.
All right.
It's a big one.
All right.
Because for the past 6 months, lecturers have not been paid.
Wow.
And the money to pay 2 months, so 4 months, but more months are going to accrue.
Okay.
And these are hard-working people who have sacrificed and have remained with us. Some of us are doing part-time. I lecture only for the second semester.
Okay.
But I don't remember when the last time I was even given my stipend.
Okay.
But because it belongs to the church and I'm part of the church, well, we should be able to work hard at it.
What would you tell the general public listening? What would you tell them? How would you appeal to them? Maybe I'm giving the opportunity to appeal.
Why are we sending our young ones? Why are people not registering with us? Why are people living for other places? Initially, the classes were full. So where have they gone? And this is a very good school where we want to maintain standards.
Okay.
So you leave the AP University and you have accreditation and you have credit to it.
Okay.
So it's not anything that you have copied from anywhere, but you have worked towards it. So if you are telling some of us are too high-handed with our marks, I don't think it is in place. But there must be cordiality. Let's discuss it. If you have any challenge as a student, let's approach our lecturers and talk about it. If you have any challenge with your finances, because I know people are driven away from the exam rooms, and unfortunately are standing. Sometimes I stood in for a number of students.
Wow.
And they never paid.
Wow.
They left.
Wow.
So I'll find it difficult now to go in and stand for anybody again. That's the issue.
All right. All right.
So let us honor whatever it is, if it's a written form or whatever. But we need support from the church. Yes, I know that the church has been supporting, has been paying, has been giving so much attention to the university, but we have left that first love.
Return to your first love. Okay.
Please let us have it returned and put it on a better pedestal. It is our own EP Church, EP University. It's our own.
Is the scholarship scheme working? And here we have a 10% waiver for church members, card-bearing members of the church. Is that really working? Do you know about it?
I don't know much about it.
Okay.
I don't know much about it.
So let me not bother you with that one. All right, so I'll come to wrap up with Mommy, but before I do, there is a concert that is upcoming. It is themed the Pre-Independence Day Brass Concert 2023, and it is organized by the Dela Brass Band in collaboration with the Prime Youth Band and God's Glory Band. I believe right here in Ho. We have one of the organizers in the house. Let me just pose these questions to him in just about 2 minutes. So we have Simon Felice. He's in the house. He's one of the organizers. Simon, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. What is this brass festival about? Pre-Independence Day Brass Concert. What is it about?
Kali, this year, Ho is hosting the whole nation for the Independence Day. So we sat down and thought about it, and we're asking ourselves what we can also do to contribute to the beauty of the Independence Day and make it remarkable in whole. So as band members, we came up with the idea that organize a brass concert. So initially we planned it for Dela Brass Band. We realized that we have other bands in town who can to make the program a success. So we called upon our brothers from Prime Youth and then God's Glory, and then they picked it up and they said it was a nice idea. So we took it up and then started planning, and then came up with date and teams and then other.
So when you say you in the brass band of the Dela parish of the EP Church Ghana, that's what you mean. So you are organizing and involving the other two brass bands. So the three of you are teaming up. All right. So what exactly are you doing as part of the concert? Is it we come sit, listen to you play, and is that it?
Yeah. So basically, we'll be playing brass pieces, strictly brass, a little bit of solos, maybe keyboard and then brass accompaniment. We'll be playing folk songs, old songs that we've forgotten about. We are bringing them back, and also some patriotic songs as well.
Give me one of the old ones. Just one. Which one is that? Just give me one. Maybe the title and the composer, if you like.
Toli Golemimli, Toli Toli. Exactly. It was rearranged both for us, yeah. And also Toboli. Yeah.
When would this be happening? When? The date?
Of March, which is this coming Saturday. Yes, please. At 4:30 p.m. in the Dela parish. Yes, the chapel. Yeah.
Who is invited? Anybody?
It's actually free, so anybody is invited.
Would you be raising some funds there so that I know if I'm coming, I know how to? Okay.
Make this collaboration a long-lasting one, and also the concert's a yearly affair. So we want to get some funds down, so that in organizing the next one, we make it more mega than the one we are going to do now. Yeah.
Any final words to our viewers? Anything else you want to tell them?
Our viewers, I think we need sponsors. So if anyone is ready to sponsor us, our doors are open. Yeah, our doors are open. So via mobile money,
cash. So what else can I give you apart from cash?
If you don't have cash, you can sponsor us through refreshments.
Right.
You can also sponsor through dresses for the band's men as well. Yes.
So tailor, I'm a seamstress and I can sew for them. I can come and do that.
Exactly. And if you are printing press and you can help us with our scripts and some of our flyers, we are ready to.
Simon Felice, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's happening come Saturday on the 4th of March, and that is the Saturday preceding the 6th celebration. This is the 66th independence celebration of the country, and Hope, the Volta region, is hosting it. So please be there for the Brass Concert 2023. Thank you very much for putting that beautiful one together. I will sure be there, God willing. And let me come back to the studio now and wrap up with President Mrs. LYDIA Aku ADAJAWA. Mama, what do you think the EP Church Ghana needs most at this crucial time?
It's a difficult question. Yes. I don't even know how to prioritize them.
Okay.
But we need prayers.
All right. All right.
With prayers,
okay,
the money matter can be solved.
All right.
All the challenges within the church can be solved.
All right.
So people who are listening, please, we need your prayers. Serious one. Go on your knees and pray for the church.
All right. All right. Akbe, what is your favorite scripture or verse in the whole of the Holy Bible and why?
Jeremiah 33 verse 3.
Jeremiah 33 verse 3. Call to me and I will answer. I'll answer you and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known. That's the English Standard Version of the Holy Bible. Jeremiah 33 3. Why is this your favorite scripture in the whole of the Holy Bible?
Look at what I have gone through. Look at this life. Jungle life.
Yes.
Starting as a favorite child and then going round. the woods.
Yes.
Then coming eventually to be whom you don't even think you can talk to.
Become, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what else can I do other than to call on God so that He will answer me and show me the hidden things that I know nothing about.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mommy. And maybe my last question to you before we go. What's your favorite hymn in the hymn book and why?
442. Oh, they mark what that well. Blenu akwe well.
442.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, they mark more.
You tune for us and we'll all sing with you. But tell me the why of it first. Why is it your favorite? Why is it your favorite hymn in the hymn book?
After going through life, the valleys, the mountains, and everything, what else can I do other than to thank the Almighty God for giving me breath, even now?
Yeah.
As soon as you sleep and you wake up and you are alive, thank the Almighty God for everything, everything.
All
I just
right.
want to thank Him.
All right, thank you. So our in-house keyboardist, Sedem Babo, give us a tune. We'll all sing with Mommy before we finish the show for today. Oh, them akpo ade akpe o kolemu akpe o han eke matonye ke akpe. Before Taji, thank you so very much for singing with us. Mama, before we go, any appreciations you want to, anybody specifically want to mention and extend thanks to, and anybody you want to send a shout out to, you may now do that.
Akpe, let me thank you first of all. This guy, where is Mauli?
Maoli.
He has tested my life. He has tested my life. It has been a very long time now, and I just wasn't giving me the chance, but he again has forced me to be here. So Maoli, thank you for bringing me here to share a little bit of my life experiences.
Thank you very much, Maoli, for that hard work and getting Mama onto the show. Thank you very much.
And all of you who have been here.
Right.
Let me go home now and thank my that I'm saying thank you. If you are ADAJAWA, I'm saying thank you. And everybody who has listened, glory be to God. Thank you. I want to appreciate this guy.
Sedem Bagbo.
Sedem. I couldn't make you out. You were a very tiny boy. We made your father a chairman for an occasion, and you were there, so we are referring you to as a chairman. And here you are. I never knew.
Today is a chairman.
So my chairman, thank you for being on the keyboard trying to thank you so much to everybody here, machine room, all of you. Poto, plan of your pete, Mr. Olo, Sofo,
Mama.
All
right, on that note, thank you very much for passing through. Thank you very much for coming, Mama. We really appreciate your time spent here with us today. We have really learnt a lot from your life story, from your lenses in seeing life. This is Perspectives, my story and inspiration. And today we have been inspired by the life of the Presbyter Mrs. LYDIA ADAJAWA, the first and for now only female presbyter executive of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana. I want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors, Francisca Asalu, who is in the UK, the very Reverend Francis Amen. Thank you very much. I want to say a very big thank you to Kekeli Hotel for giving us this space. We are coming to you from the within the four walls of the Kekeli Hotel, located right within the EP Church headquarters right here in Ho. Anytime you come around Ho, just try to spend a day or two at the Kekeli Hotel and you will never regret the time spent with us. Kekeli Hotel is home away from home. I want to say another big thank you to my crew members who have put this very beautiful show. They have done the magic for you to be seeing and to be hearing from us today. To Ernest, to Aaron, Nathan, Alex, Selassie, Prosper, and Maoli. Thank you all very much for putting this together. Maoli, I see Selassie. Where are you, Selassie? Thank you. Thank you very much, Selassie. My in-house my in-house keyboardist, Sedem Bagbo. Thank you very much. I see the Presbyter Antoinette Bagbo, Mrs., who is also here with us, the wife of Dr. Divine Bagbo. She's also here. Thank you very much for being here. She is there with us. My co-host, Derek Senak Besemete and Josephine Poto, they are both here with me. You did not see or hear from Josephine today, but God willing, next week you would hear from him. Eric is also here. Eric is also here with us today. He's also one of my crew members. Thank you all very much for putting this together, and thank you for making time with us. We started at 3:30 up until now. It's now 19 minutes past 6 p.m. and I see a lot of you, over 15, 20 people are still locked onto the show, listening and watching us from wherever you are. Thank you very much for being part of the show. Until we come your way again a fortnight from today, that is next 2 weeks Sunday. It is bye-bye for right now. I am the Reverend DNA Afram, your host. I'll be here again next 2 weeks to do this all over again. Thank you for being part of the show. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
I'm modeling Jeffe Fafali Joyland,
Tacey Presla,
Lauren Shah, Adaji, Pelikem Alberta, the senior prefect of EPC Malco Girls, and I endorse Perspectives.
I endorse Perspectives.
It is a very inspirational and educational program.
I'm really touched.
I've been touched by every single part of the story.
I pray you all watch it and it will help you.
You will never regret your time spent with us.
Keep watching and stay tuned to Dela TV.
Keep watching Dela TV.
Keep watching Perspective,
my story and inspiration
on Dela TV. God bless you.
Jesus be exalted, for holy is your name.
Jesus be exalted, for glorious are your deeds. Wonderful, merciful